Hi, once again, everyone. Tim Franz and Lauren Vicker here for Making Team Projects Work. And today we are pleased to welcome our special guest is Mark Bowers, who is the head of business and content analytics at Yahoo. He's also worked for Yahoo News and Huffington Post. And Mark spent over 9 years at ESPN doing digital research and analytics. And he was really on the forefront of that whole revolution. He's also an adjunct professor at the University of New Haven. And last but not least, he's an alum for both his undergraduate and graduate degree for St. John Fisher University. So, Mark, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me. Happy to be here.
So, Mark, we're here today to talk about team problem solving. And in so much of the work you've done, I'm sure you've had to find ways to help teams better solve problems. So what's one tip you have for us?
So the first thing that I would say, and this might be a little bit of a long-winded answer, but in a lot of the work that we do, my team takes in a lot of intake. We do a lot of intake. We do a lot of proactive things too. But like for any problem that we have, when we're dealing with a variety of different stakeholders, is that we try to approach things by using an analytical framework, essentially. And I think that this is something that can be applied for pretty much any team that you have. And the way that, like, what I mean by that is that, you don't have to be an analytics expert to apply an analytical framework. It's almost like using the scientific method in many ways. So when you have a problem, you can identify what that problem is, and from the way that my team approaches things, it's really describing what happened, right? So like we're being descriptive in terms of making sure that we're on the same page and saying, here's what happened. Let's get our facts straight. Let's make sure that we're all on the same page for that. And that's the basis for any problem right there, is to make sure that we're all thinking about things the same way, that we're talking about things the same way. And then we can start to approach that problem and really break it down into the next steps, right? Which would be talking about why things are the way that they are. So, you talked a lot about my career. And my career is almost entirely in the digital realm, right? So in many cases, then we're thinking about audience analytics, audience traffic. And so it's like we talk about how many people were here, how often are they coming to see us? And we've level set on that. So now we can say, here's the reasons why something's up or down. Is it something that we've done internally? Have we created a new product? Have we launched a new product? Have we gone awry on some experimentation, or are there some other market forces that happen, right? As an example for that, you can think about March of 2020, and audience traffic was up. It was pretty clear as to why that was up, right? So it's like we can explain what's happening there. And then, so then we've thought about what has happened, why it's happened. We start thinking about what might happen next. And then perhaps most importantly, the final step of that, of solving this problem, is saying, what can we do about it? So we kind of get all of our facts together. It's important to get all of the facts together, understand why those facts are what they are, do some analysis around what might happen, and then we can really solve the problem. I mean, in the way that a lot of our problems are from my team, which is thinking about, we have all of this data here, and what do we tell people to do with this, essentially, right? So like that's my long-winded answer right there.
I think that's a great answer. And I will say that Lauren and I talk about following a structured process, and it's exactly what you're describing, following these prescriptive steps to improve your problem-solving process. So that's fabulous, Mark. Thanks.
Absolutely.
And it really does dovetail very nicely with some of the things we talk about that should be happening in the classroom, and shows that people in the professional realm can use those tips as well. So we really appreciate that. So if you would like to read the full blog post, there's a link below this video. And we again thank Mark Bowers for joining us today. And thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Lauren.